10th season at UGA. I want to say a couple words about somebody that is kind of stepping down from our program, and he's been one of the biggest parts, and people do not give athletic trainers enough credit. But for 30 years, the face of UGA athletic training, and in most cases, the SEC athletic training, has been Dr. Ron Courson. And I want to give a shout out to Ron and all he's meant to our program at the University of Georgia and what all he's done. He is a selfless man that is given to multiple head coaches. Thank you for what you do, Dr. Ron, and what you continue to do for our program.
It's been a blessing. I love what I do. I like to work with people and help people. I want to make a difference in what I do. I think athletic training is really beneficial for our student athletes. To have the degree of success they want to have, they need to be healthy. So we try to do everything we can to try to keep them in a healthy environment, try to prevent and reduce the incidence of injuries, but when they do happen, to try to get them back as quick as we can, but also as safe and smart as we can.
Ron Courson embodies what Georgia football is. I mean, he was a part of this program through so many tenures. He's been a big part of every coach that's coached here's life and every player. I don't know one person in the world that cares more about the players that have played at Georgia than Ron. He would do anything for any one of them, and it shows in his actions.
It's really been cool to look at the development of our staff. You know, having the chance to work with Kirby as a player and Mike Bobo as a player and see how they've matured, they've grown. I think it's one of the most significant things about this opportunity is the relationships you build and just seeing them grow. And the same thing with the players, seeing them come back after a few years and meeting their wife and their children and see how they've done in their careers is really rewarding.
I mean, if you think about just nationwide, not even just Georgia, I mean, everybody knows who Ron is. You know, he's the connection most every place you go from a sports medicine perspective. He's a very well-known name, and really what he's built at Georgia from the ground up is incredible. And the foundation that he set is unbelievable.
I got here in 2021. Obviously, being in this profession, I had heard Ron's name plenty of times and knew who he was, met him at different events. Coming here, watching Ron interact with the players and just seeing the level of care he had for each and every guy, whether it be your best player or your down the line walk-on, watching him care for everybody the same was very eye-opening and, you know, very impressive to see and pretty cool to learn from.
I'm really proud of both Connor and Ron. You know, Connor is interesting because he was a former student athlete who I treated, and then he became a physical therapist and athletic trainer. And then Ron, I've known for many years and close friends with his dad for almost 30 years. He was the director of Sports Medicine Kentucky. They've done a great job. I anticipate they'll continue to grow and do this program. I like to think that I may have helped build the foundation, but they're going to continue to grow this program, make it better and better. So I'm looking forward to great things from them.
Yeah, they've been providing great leadership by Ron. They got to watch him do it. They both studied under different places, so they have ideas that they believe in, but they're both talented young people in a profession that is more for young people now with all these players. So those two guys have been a great asset for Georgia and will be for a long time.
The transition was definitely different. You know, when you do something for 40 years and work directly with patients and athletes, it's a shock to make that change. But it was something that I've looked at for a number of years, and I wanted to try to make a difference in some other areas.
Well, I think it was a well thought out and long-term decision Ron had for stepping back, and I think it's been great. He's been at home more. It's been wonderful to have him around.
I say it jokingly, I didn't know Ron would actually ever retire or take a step back from football, but you know, I think for me, you know, obviously it's something that you don't take lightly. I mean, it is an honor, and it's special for me just this being my alma mater and being here, and so it means a lot to me that, you know, he trusts us to kind of take the baton and lead it on.
I sometimes got to pinch myself to have my first opportunity at a premier program like this. Has been really humbling, and I'm excited to continue to be here and continuing the legacy that he left, just continue to care for all the student athletes the best we can.
It's been absolutely incredible. Obviously, we're a Georgia family, born and raised in Athens, and so being able to stay around the program has always been a dream of mine. When I was little, spent so much time up here at the building, always had my mom drop me off, and so just spending time here and getting to spend time with him has been such a dream.
It's been a great experience to watch Anna. You know, she's grown up in this building, you know, from the time she was just an infant. She was always around, and she got very involved working as a water girl with Miss Rick back in the Coach Rick era, and was always in the building. And it's really been a dream come true to watch her develop and become, I'm biased, but I think she's a great operations director. I've enjoyed having the chance to work with her on a different level with that, but it's just cool to see her in the building.
I definitely got to see him in a different light. So growing up, always saw him with the players, saw him interacting with everybody, interacting with the staff, but actually sitting in the staff meeting and watching him down at the table is a very different feeling.
It's been very great having them work together. They're in the building together. They would cross paths several times during the day, and then when Ron would get home at night, he'd give me an update on what he saw Anna doing today. And it's just been a really great experience.
I think everyone in the building, myself included, can see how selfless he is and how much he cares. He cares so much about the players, so much about the families of the players, so much about the staff. And so seeing him dedicate his entire life to it has been incredible. If I'm half the person that he is in terms of work ethic and caring about others and putting others first, then I feel like I'm doing something right.
Georgia means the world to me. It's just a big part of my life and my family, and couldn't say enough about Athens. We just love the experience here.